guys, and welcome back, and in today's video it's part 2 of how I make my videos. So the first thing we're going to talk about is what you're going to need to make a video. So you've got your footage, and I expect it'll either be on one of these, a sort of SD card, or it'll be on your phone. So now you're going to need something to edit on. Now, when I actually started making videos, best thing to do and what I recommend is don't go and buy any software. Start with the free stuff. It's plenty good enough for what you'll need to do. And the first video I made was on Imovie, and that was actually edited on my phone, exported on my phone, and everything was done on my phone. And then I moved up to using my then MacBook Air, and I was using iMovie on there, and I was just using iCloud Photos, bringing the photos over, etc. And I was just editing it on iMovie and just exporting it out. And I used that for about a year. I then moved on to Filmora, which is a paid software, still not very expensive. It was £50 for a lifetime. And the reason I moved on to Filmora is that I recently just bought the Lexi camera, as I showed you in the previous video, and I needed somewhere to be able to change the AVI footage over. And I found that Filmora is a really good software. I still use it to this day for the action cam, my main software, and now I've been doing YouTube for a while, and I do videos not just for YouTube, I do videos for other things such as my college work. I do a few promotional videos for people. I've moved up to Final Cut Pro, which is an Apple only software. It's £299, which does sound a lot and it is expensive, but I can wholeheartedly say it's worth what the money is. I love the software, it's really easy to use. I have used Adobe's Premiere Pro, and that is another software which I've heard is very good. Again, it's actually on my Mac here, but I'm not a big fan of it. It's one of the softwares I use for college, but it's quite techy. You've really got to be able to grit your teeth getting into it. I find Final Cut Pro is very, very intuitive and very easy to use. So now you've got your footage, and I'm going to say that it's on your SD card, and here's my SD card. So let's move over to the Mac, and we'll have a look on there. Just a quick word, I'm using a iMac 2019. It's got 8 gig of RAM and it's Intel i5. It's a 4K screen. I used to edit on between my Air and my iMac on a MacBook Pro, and if we go out somewhere such as the NEC, I need to film edit a quick video, I got Final Cut on there, and that is a MacBook Pro 2011, 8 gig of RAM, i5, X3000 graphics card, and that's quite nice. It's a little bit slow, so let's move over to there, and we'll have a look at that. Because I now need to choose some music for the video, and I use a few different sources for my music. The main place is Epidemic Sound. I pay for Epidemic Sound yearly, so I think it's about £90 a year, and it means that I can get really nice copyright-free music. Of course, but when you start, I recommend using the audio library in YouTube, and that is in the Creator Studio part, and that's a very, very simple thing to do. So we're going to go into Epidemic, and we're just going to choose a nice bit of music. Now we can move over to editing. We can now open up Final Cut Pro. So we'll open that up, and in Final Cut Pro you've got a series of being able to add events, projects, and also libraries. Now I have a library for each type of video that I make. What I tend to do, once I've made a video and it's been exported and it's actually been uploaded to YouTube and it's gone out, people are starting to watch it, I then delete it off here. So we're going to go over into the How To library, and we're going to open, once it's clicked onto it, we're going to make a new event, and we're going to call it How I Make My Videos. Now we've got the footage imported, we can now go ahead and open a new project, actually already in the event. So now we've got a blank timeline here. This is called the timeline. We can then go ahead, and I'm going to import my intro, and that's just going to drag and drop it. And now we need to make what I would call starting credits. So usually I would have taken a snapshot of the video, and I'm going to take a snapshot of it, and you can use the arrow key just to click along the keyframe, and that's quite nice there. And then we're going to use Option and F, and that is a freeze frame. We're going to just drag it into here, and we're going to go make it about 5 or 6 seconds. I'm going to click on the title bar, and then I'm going to get the continuous title and drag it over the top, and then I'm going to call it what the video is. I then make the size about 120 usually, there or thereabouts. Drag it so that you can see the footage, so maybe it might not be in the middle, but etc. You get the idea. Open the transitions bar, which is over in the corner, just here. And you've got a load of different transitions here into lights, and I'm going to use the bloom transition, and you just, in case of just dragging and dropping it, it will probably ask you that there isn't enough space between the files. Just click OK, because it will just literally make a really nice transition. Then we're going to go on to into the effects bar, and that is just here, and you've got audio and video effects here, and there's all kinds of ones in there. And we're going to go to blur. We're going to use the Gaussian blur, drag and drop, and we're going to make sure that we've got the effects bar open here, and you can click on the files, do different bits and bobs here, click on the transitions and change them on there as well. But in this case we're going to click on the file and see we've got the effects up here. We're going to keyframe so that the transition is white. We're going to make a keyframe, and that's a case of just clicking up here and make the amount 100, and then play it, and as you can see we've got a blurred footage, and then we can then make another keyframe and take it back to 0, and that gives us a really nice blurring effect. Looks quite nice, it does a good job, and then we can then just make the title a little bit shorter there. Next up we're going to bring the music in. Sometimes I use the middle of the music, but in this case it fades up quite nicely, and we're going to just overlay it under this bit of music here, so that you'll probably start to hear it a little bit, but it will sound quite nice. We're actually going to slide it back a little bit. Now we're going to go ahead and put in the intro of the video, and we're going to use the I, the O and the E keyboard shortcuts. I is for in, O is for out, E is for append. So we're going to, so seriously, hi, just before I say hi, click the I tool, and then we're going to skip forward. And welcome back. Let's crack on. I'll show you what equipment I use. So yeah, come on, have a look. So just before I'm about to put my hand up to turn the camera off, click the O, and then we're going to click E, and that appends it down to the timeline, like so. And then we're then going to bring the music down, and we're going to just go Command B, and that is the cut tool. And we're going to then just drag it up, and then we're going to bring the audio down. And then, because I'm going to use the music later, there's no point in deleting it, we're going to click on the audio and we're going to click V. V is to just turn off the specific clip, and we're going to click on it and we're going to click V. And then you're not going to be able to hear it, but it's still on the timeline. We can move it around and just so we can get it in the place we want it. I make my videos. We're going to then bring the audio up slightly. I usually take it to about 3 on the talking. Match the audio. Now, we're now going to use the blade tool, and that is keyboard shortcut B. So I'm now going to go and find something that I've got in my bag. So I'm going to click B, and that brings up this razor blade tool. We're going to click on where we want it, skip forward until I sit back down and I'm ready. Then we're going to click A, which is select. Click on the click and just click delete. There we go. Very, very good. We're not going to use a transition here because we don't want people to know that I've actually just moved. So with that done, we can then, that is the basic cutted timeline done. So we're now going to, what I'll do is I'll come back to you once I'm about to put the next set of video over the top, because I used another camera to show what camera I'm filming on now. So I'll click my fingers and we'll be back again. So this part applies to all editing softwares, no matter which one you're using, and that all editing softwares work in layers. So the top layer is what you'll see, and then you go down to your talking layer and then to your music layer. I find the best thing to do is to add a marker, and in Final Cut Pro a marker is the keyboard shortcut M, and that means I can then pick up, drag the footage over the top, and I'm going to detach the audio, and new keyboard shortcut, detach audio, remove that. So guys, that is the video all edited now. Usually takes me around between 2 and 10 hours depending on what the video is. Of course there's loads more features in Final Cut, such as all the effects, loads of different things you can do which I know how to do. This is just a very basic chop and edit video. If you'd like to see more Final Cut tutorials, if you are new to video editing, I can do it on Imovie. So in the first iMovie tutorial, we're going to be talking about importing and making a new project in iMovie. So creating a new project, we need to create new and click project. Clicking a trailer will make a preset trailer. Adobe Premiere Pro, Filmora. If you'd like any of those, do say in the comments below, because I can put it on my other channel, which is my sort of smaller tech channel. Guys, I'd like to say thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this, and like I said, if you want any more information about editing or any bits and bobs about my camera kit, do say in the comments. I hope you've enjoyed this little mini series. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Alright, bye!